One of the first things you're going to have to decide when you get your real estate license, or even during the process of getting it, is where you're going to hang your license. And by that, I mean, what brokerage are you going to go with? There's a lot of different choices you have. You can go brick and mortar, online, mom and pop, big international brand. The world is your oyster, and everybody's going to want to be your friend the minute you say, I'm getting my real estate license. So here's a couple things to consider. Here's the secret. A lot of it doesn't matter. Your success is not totally dependent upon what the name on the door says. What matters, and this is obvious, is how much work you put in, how you do things. Are you professional? Do you treat it like a job? Do you treat it like a business? It's more about that and your brand name recognition and the people that want to work with you than what the name says. Some brokers stress things more than others. For instance, training. If you're just starting out, my suggestion is look for some place that's going to give you the tools that you need to succeed, i.e. classes, training. What do you do when you find a buyer? How do you sell a home? How do you go on a listing appointment? Stuff like that really does matter, especially when you're new. If you're a little long in the tooth, you don't need it as much because maybe you know what you're doing already, although getting back to basics can never hurt. So training's really good. Look for a place that gives you that at least. Some of it depends on what kind of client you want to go after. If you're getting maybe up in years and you want to work with people that are of retirement age, then a big box brokerage might actually be good because people as they age, they kind of respect and they like the security of like a big brand name. If you're working with a younger crowd, people just getting started, millennials, even younger than that, they're less inclined to really care about the brand name, the Coldwell Bankers, the Compasses. It doesn't really matter. What matters to them is your presence, not the brokerage's presence. And there's different hybrids. You can go to an office, you can work from home, you can work for a big company, you can work for a really small company, you can get your own broker's license down the road. So it kind of depends on what you need. If you're in a family situation where there's not a lot of room and space to actually work, maybe you want to go to a place that has a physical office so you can go there and work. Most times you have to rent the cubicle or the office, which is fine. But if you have plenty of space, or you work from home, or you're single, and you've got room and you've got quiet, maybe you don't need a brick and mortar, you can just work online. What's really though important is to have some sort of community, whether it be really small or large. You want to at least have people in the background that you can rely on if you have questions, or you want to work on a team or anything like that. Have something so you're not just a lone wolf 24/7. You won't get anywhere as quickly as if you're surrounded by people that know what they're doing. All the brokerages are going to have somewhat of the same technology and tools that they're going to offer. And that's all really important. You want to have transaction management software that a lot of the back-end office stuff is going to handle. You want to make sure that you have a CRM, which is the customer relations management software, which is where you're going to handle all your leads in your database. And now, of course, you're going to want to hear about splits. My advice to you is that if you're just starting out, focus less on the actual split and more on what your opportunity is to actually earn a living. If you want to make $100,000, $150,000, figure out how many transactions you need to do in order to hit that, and then set yourself up with the ability to do so. It's cool if you have a really good split, if you have like a 90-10 split, but if you're not selling any houses, if you're not getting any opportunity, what is that good for you? So you want to make sure that it's less about the splits and more about the action and learning, because you don't want to step over nickels to pick up pennies. If you have questions about any of this, you can always message me. Just find us at our website. Thanks.